Hello everyone, here we are. We're back with two sets of 7th graders. We'll introduce in just a moment for our matchup debate. This is it's a game show type of series that we run, and it's all subjective. We're gonna award the point and the card to the team that does the best per question. We have 3 questions plus a bonus question, and we'll see who the winner is for today. Let's introduce our teams. To my right, your left, we have Gianna and Eman, and they are Team Chill Girls. Over here on my left, your right, we have Piper and Ella, and they are Team Tired. All right, we did a coin flip before the video started, and the coin flip winners were over here, Chill Girls. So Gianna and Eman, that means they have first choice on the first card, or they can pass. Remember, this is all just for fun. So our first topic, here it is. First card is all about focus. And the question is either or, and you're welcome to take the middle stance too. The question is, do middle schoolers need help with their attention spans? Or do they already have the ability to focus? Do middle schoolers in general need help with attention? Or they already have the ability to focus? And you can always go in the middle too. All right, you two, are you going first? Or are you gonna pass?
We'll go first.
Okay, go for it.
I think that middle schoolers probably, I think they do have the ability to be able to focus for long periods of time, but I think at certain points, it basically just depends what you're really interested in. Like, a lot of times when teachers will do like their slides, and I'm pretty sure our teacher talked about this once, but whenever they do like the slides, they put like colors and stuff so that we don't get bored and that we don't like look away and we don't get like distracted. But even still, sometimes like we end up like talking to our friends about something and we end up doing like something else.
That makes sense, right? Just not be bored, not be distracted. Yeah, okay. So you think 7th graders do have the ability to focus?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Iman?
I think the same thing as Gianna. I think that 7th graders do have the ability to focus, but sometimes they really don't want to use it. Like, sometimes they choose to use it, sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes when you're in class and the teacher's talking and your friend's talking to you, you choose to talk to your friend other than listen to the teacher.
But you have the ability,
Yeah.
especially by 7th grade. So you're on the side that says, we got it. It's just a choice.
Yeah,
Okay, any final thoughts before we pass it over?
I'm good.
It's a really good start. All right, Team Chill Girls, good start. Let's pass it Team Tired. Piper, Ella. Do you need me to repeat the question or you got it?
No, I got it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I feel like it really depends on the person. If you were raised with maybe a bit stricter parents, it might have an impact on whether you're able to focus more or not. But if you're raised with like more chill, laid back parents, your focus, attention span might not be as great. So it really depends on how you were raised, your parents, and kind of the environment you grew up in, and how much you want to learn whatever you're like learning. If you want to learn about what the teacher is presenting about, you will probably focus more than if you really don't care about what they're talking about.
Sounds like you're saying desire is a big part of it.
Yeah.
So it kind of comes down to a choice too.
Yeah.
What affects 7th graders' attention spans the most?
Really the people that they're around. Because if you're sitting next to your best friend, like, you might just talk to them instead of actually paying attention to what the teacher's saying. But if you're sitting next to someone that you might not like that much, you're probably not gonna talk to them and be like talking the entire class and just.
Yeah, that's in school. So does attention change from home to school and back and forth? What affects somebody's attention span at home?
Well, it depends. If you're at home, you're going to be paying attention while you're scrolling on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be paying attention while you're playing a video game. But you're not going to be paying attention when you're doing your homework.
So you're focused on the screen.
Yes,
It's
but you're
an
also
attention.
But you're also focused if you're playing a sport you enjoy playing. You're also focused if you're at an amusement park, if you're hanging out with your friends. But you're not focused on the things you don't want to be focused on.
Okay, interesting. All right, nice job, Piper. Let's pass it to Ella.
I personally agree with Piper because some kids, they go off of how their parents act at home. Because if their parents, like, they're not that strict, they don't tell them, okay, go do this now. They just let them be, like, they just let them go on their phones, do whatever they want. then the kids at school will probably be like, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't have to do that. And the teacher tells them to do something. But if kids like at home with their parents are like strict with them and tell them, okay, go do this, go do that, like Piper said, they will do it at school. They'll like listen to an adult because they should like be following the rules.
That's how they were raised.
Well, let's be clear that focus doesn't mean obedience. We're not trying to obey somebody. We're just saying, do middle schoolers have the ability to focus on something for many minutes at a time?
Again, I really just think it's depending on whether they're interested in it or not. And as 7th graders, we really, like, if you're sitting in a math class and you really don't understand what that teacher is saying, you're gonna look out the window, you're gonna look at the clock, you're gonna look at the person across from you, you're gonna just play with your fingers, you're gonna mess with your hoodie, you're just gonna do other things. But let's say you were in a science class and you were doing a hands-on activity, you are making something explode. And you're like, wow, this is really cool. You're gonna be all in like doing it, and you're gonna be really focused on what you're doing. It's like,
It depends. You said it depends.
it's what you want to do versus what you have to do.
I wonder if some people would claim that you looking out the window is not focused. That is a short attention span. So your environment really matters too.
Yeah, because if you're looking out the window, you're not paying attention to what your teacher's saying.
Yeah, because it just depends on how much like the person's like attention span is, on what they do like to like look at and what they don't like to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other thoughts on, because we gave Ella and Piper a long time to talk there. Anything else you were thinking of as they were chatting? How are middle school's attention spans? Final thoughts? Team Chill Girls? It's okay if not.
I actually kind of agree with Piper because she said like it depends on your home life, because the things that you like before 7th grade, you have a whole life before that time, and you have to grow, like your character begins to grow as you mature more. So that's why I agree with Piper, because like your parents like bring you up as you get to a certain point where you're like, that's your character, that's who you are.
Yeah, we talk about personality a lot in health class and stuff. All right, well, that's a good first card. We have to give it to the elaboration over here, right? We got a lot of details. I don't know if that was fair, though, because they did get to go second, and I kind of asked some follow-ups. But I feel like the first card for focus goes over here. We'll see. Maybe at home they disagree. So Piper and Ella take the lead, 1-0. That's team tired. Didn't feel that tired right now. But all right, second card is their option. So you have first choice on the second card. Second card and topic is all for fun. Well, I guess all of these are kind of for fun, but this is about fun. Here's the question, and then you can take it first or pass. Are teachers including enough fun in their lessons, week to week, day to day, or do we need to incorporate more fun?
All right.
You want to take it first?
Yep, we'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead, Ella or Piper.
I think teachers do, like, they need to incorporate like a little bit more fun in their lessons, because some kids, like, they just get carried away, like the last one about focus. They aren't that interested in some things that the teacher's like teaching, so they gotta like make it a little bit more like interesting for some kids. Maybe like add like a little more color to it, like Gianna had said earlier how some teachers do that. Or like try to get their attention more on things that they're like teaching.
Yeah. So you're saying teachers need more?
Yeah, just a little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay.
Otherwise they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in class, we're sitting in a chair all day, just supposed to be staring at a board, just paying attention to what the teacher's saying. Then when she's done talking, we get our Chromebook and type. It's like a bunch of copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It's just the same thing. Okay, and after a while that gets boring. While you're sitting there looking at the presentation, oh look, that's colorful. Oh look, that kid's pretending to listen and they're on their phone. And they're just not paying attention. But if you incorporate maybe a bit of activity, or you do less time talking and more time of you actually working, or if like you do other things, then they're gonna be more included in the lesson and participating more.
Absolutely, I get it. So you're saying teachers, Team Tired says teachers need more fun, whatever fun may be. Yeah, I appreciate the fun skits she's putting on real quick, the little scenarios. All right, we're gonna pass it. We're gonna let these two Team Chill girls, Gianna or Eman, fun. Teachers, do we do enough or do we need to do more?
I think from what I say yeah, that teachers need to do more fun, but I think the problem with that is a lot of times when a teacher does something or says something that might be funny or they do something fun, kids get more distracted by that and then they pay less attention to the work. Because we all know that like the point of like you want to have fun at school and teachers like try to make it seem like that, but really at school you are learning like for your future, like math, science, all that stuff. There's general work and knowledge that comes with it. So if they add a bunch of fun, kids, like we said, kids have like a choice to focus or not. They're obviously going to pay more attention to the fun part of the lesson and start talking about other things than they are the actual work. And in turn, that causes something for their grades, like maybe a lower grade. We might like it more, but like in general, I don't really think that a teacher needs to be adding a lot more fun than a lot of the teachers here already do.
So it needs to be involved in learning too. If there's fun, it needs to have a point.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that if teachers do it, it sometimes gets cringy. I thought you were going to say that, but
It sometimes does.
yeah. We're on that line of like, that's cheesy, or that's actually funny. All right, that was a nice response by Gianna. Eman, go ahead.
I think some teachers, it depends on the teacher. Like some teachers do enough fun that there's like a balance between fun and the learning that they're getting for their future, as Gianna said. But other teachers, I think they need to do more for like plain teachers where they just give the work and they expect you to do it without any like actual like social interaction. Yeah, collaboration, social interactions. Some teachers also they give group works, like you work in groups more often because they want you to have more social time as well as academic time. But other teachers, they make you do it individually and you don't have time with your friends, only at like lunch or passing period. And that's just a short amount of time. You should have social and academic time and balance.
Great stuff over here by Chill Girls. Final thoughts on fun? Anything you didn't get to say, you just thought of?
I think like if we're gonna get like I like what Eman said. I think to give an example, like in health, usually we'll have like that little beginning part where we'll have like social time or downtime, and it kind of gives us like a moment to think. And I think even then we're all like more interested in what we're learning after we have like that time to talk to our friends and that kind of stuff.
We turn and talk a bit. I wonder if I could do more. I do ask that question a lot. Should we do more small group work, more turn and talk? We got some tough topics sometimes in this classroom, but we try and balance it. Are other teachers doing fun things week to week? Remember, we do a Fun Friday activity. We do our trivia question. We also do a mindfulness activity. I don't know if that's fun. It's part of learning, but
yeah, it makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're also learning at the same time. Like the fun question, like where does class come from? You're like, oh, that's kind of funny, but also at the same time you're learning about it, and you're also getting like a candy if you get it full out of the bucket. It's like a chance game. Like,
candy's not healthy.
Yeah.
Don't tell the world that we have.
No, it's not.
But it's good for your emotional health.
Yeah.
It makes you
And
happy.
it makes more kids want to do it too.
Sure.
I
And
feel
sometimes it can like make some kids' mental health like a little bit better.
Just wanting to be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like if teachers connected it a bit more to our personal lives, that would bring a connection. So like in math, if they bring like candy corn into class during Halloween or something, and they're like, okay, or like have y'all seen those little bags of candy corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for every question, or when you participate, you get a piece of candy or something. I mean, some teachers.
Just a quick example.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But or if you bring in stories from your own personal life as a kid, not something like back in my day when we had to go from the books. We didn't have any of that fancy technology. No, but like bring in stuff that you think we could relate to. that kind of ties into the lessons so that we are
Yeah,
understanding it more, and every time we think about that, we bring it back to, oh, this story, and then like it gives you a deeper understanding on the topic.
It's got a spot in your brain where you're going to remember that story. Speaking of fun, you're going to hear some of the classes coming out of lunch. Some of the seventh graders are getting out of lunch.
Oh wait,
Is lunch the most fun part of the day?
that or PE? That or PE?
It depends on the class.
Well, it depends on PE, because if you're doing like a sport.
All
Like
these
the
questions
fitness room?
depends, right?
The
These are
fitness
open-ended.
room- The fitness room?
All right, we better move on so we can get you to class, right? So we're going to move on. We're going to give the card over to Team Chill Girls, Gianna and Eman. There's some really good responses here. This might be the wrong thing, but I think what they said earlier, where Gianna said, you know what, sometimes school is just for work. You just got to come in here. Maybe too much cheesiness, too much corniness. Could be cringy, but also it might distract more. Trying too hard. It's a tough part of the day to figure out what seventh graders might find fun. But I also thought that Eman had some good points too. So we're going to award the point and the card here, going into question 3. And question 3 is always about health class. So we're going to make this one quick so we can get to the bonus question too. Everybody gets a chance to talk about health class. Here's the question. Thinking of focus, fun, and our topic of today seems to be kind of a combo of that. Think about our mindfulness training, our mindfulness practice. To be mindful would be living in the moment, right? No self-judgment, just being present. Yeah, aware, okay? So does our mindfulness work help seventh graders? We have had minimal practice. There's only a couple of weeks of practice so far. Does that help seventh graders, or is that practice better for a different grade level?
Okay, so
Wait, guess who's first? First option is Team Chill Girls, right? Isn't that correct? All right, first option. You can pass or you can go for it. They're not coming in. It's okay. Some people are, yeah. So we'll either cut this or just leave it in. Speak up a little bit for the microphone. All right, go ahead. Who's up, Gianna?
Yeah. I would say that yeah, it does help our health class, because I think even the first time that we did it, you said, like, and I felt it too, and I think we all did, that the class felt like a lot more calm, and I think that day we were a lot more focused than we usually are. Because like I said, even like before, we had like our social time, so we got that out, and then we just had like a moment to ourselves, and we all felt more calm, and I think we all learned a lot better.
Interesting. Go ahead, Emma.
I think that it's good for 7th grade and all grades, because like for 7th grade, 6th graders, 8th graders, they're like really energetic, so they need their time to think. But like the elementary school kids, some of them have like nap time, and that helps them take some time to think and process everything without being so jumpy, like going to one section to another. But like as well with the high schoolers, they also need mindful time because they have a lot of work to do to get into college and stuff like that. So they need their time to think about what they're doing, where they're doing, when they're doing it, like think about where they are in life and where they could go to. And I feel like it actually could apply to like this mindfulness thing that we did in our class. I think it could apply to any age group, because except like young kids, but any age groups, because sometimes people need to stop and think about what they're doing.
It's also a really good skill just to use like whenever you're stressed, just to sit down and think for a moment. So it's kind of like a life skill, so it'd be good for everyone to like learn it and be able to use it.
So it could be at any grade level.
Yeah.
But you're saying it does help 7th graders. That seems like your stance.
Yeah.
All right, nice start by Team Chill Girls. All right, Team Tired.
I kind of agree with what they said. It can go for any grades. And like as 7th graders, we really don't get a lot of time to just stop and give ourselves a minute to just calm down, because everything is so fast. Like even during our passing period, it's just you only have enough time to go from one class to another. You don't really have enough time to go like just take a minute and breathe. You just go from class to class.
We get 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's way too short. But if you can't really teach this to younger people, Well, you could, but I feel like it wouldn't stick with them as much because they really don't care. They just want to have fun and play with their friends and stuff. But I feel like in 7th grade, and like this is a good time to just teach it, because and I feel like they should keep teaching it at least 1 quarter a year, all the way through high school. That way, it's kind of at that point, it's like programmed into your mind to like just take a minute. And I feel like that can be really good for people because they're just more calm and all around just happier people and just more less crazy and more like focused and paying more attention. But
Yeah, good stuff. We'll hand it over to Ella.
Yeah, I mean with Piper, kids like if they take it like throughout 7th grade and high school, they would probably like get like they probably would be like way more calmer. And like the activity that you did earlier with like the mental health, like that, like the bell ringing, how we tried to focus on it, like with our focus. I think that relaxed a lot of people in the class because some people were like they calmed down, and after like the bell stopped ringing, people like were quiet for a while and like they looked way more relaxed. So yeah, I think like activities like that we're learning here, if people kept on doing that and like hearing it again for like until like high school, yeah, that'd probably be like a really good thing for them.
So it helps 7th graders.
Yeah.
But it could be at any grade level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm splitting the card. That means we're at 2 each or 1.5 each going into the bonus question, and the bonus question is always just for fun. And it doesn't really have anything to do with anything we've been talking about. These are the fun ones. People love these. Bonus is what would be better? Would you rather? Would you rather see into the future by 10 minutes or see into the future by 10 years? And first to act is Team Tired for our final card. And this is going to give us a winner today between Team Chill Girls and Team Tired. What would be better, seeing 10 minutes into the future or seeing 10 years in the future? And remember, this will be a quick one so we can get you off to class. Ella, Piper, do you want to pass it first?
So I would rather see 10 years into the future because I can see myself and see if I made some horrible decisions and am miserable. And I can go back and say, okay, I'm not going to make those decisions and I'm not going to be miserable. Or I can see, oh, I was really successful and I'm having a great life, and be like, okay, I'm going to do the same things. But if I only saw 10 minutes into the future, I'd only get to see a few test questions and then go take the test and still fail it.
I should have added that you can choose neither. I should have added, like, it's either or, but it's okay to be like, I don't want that superpower at all. So I should have added that. All right, Piper. You still want 10 years. All right, Ella. 10 years or 10 minutes? Or neither. You don't get both, though.
I think I agree with Piper because then you can see kind of what you are in the future and see how you can like fix yourself from becoming that.
And make yourself happier.
And fix like your mental self, physical self sometimes, like, and strengthen relationships with like others. So if you do come to that time, people will be there for you instead of you just being there alone in that stage without any help.
Okay, really nice start over here. They're saying 10 years.
Or it could be neither.
Could be neither, of course. Okay. Bonus question, 10 minutes in the future or 10 years?
I think it depends on the person, because if like a person wants to rely on their own decisions that they think is right and that will bring them to the future, they will pick the 10 minutes because that's just like 10 minutes in front. But if it's a person who knows that they're doing bad in life and they don't feel like well and mentally, physically, they will look in 10 years in the future so they can see what they can do right to help them.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, go ahead, Gianna.
I agree with like the fact that it depends on the person, but I honestly would pick neither. Because firstly, like Piper said, like if I go 10 minutes in the future, I'm barely gonna see anything. Maybe I'm gonna see me like dropping my pencil, picking it up. That's about it. But 10 years into the future, like that's like, I like her point about like you can see what you did wrong, but to be honest, like what if like you did do something wrong and like that doesn't sit with you well and you don't know how to handle your choices? Then you're gonna live like the rest of your life just feeling like, oh, I don't want this to happen, like what should I do? And you're gonna be cautious of everything you do just so you can change that future, and you aren't gonna be able to like live like the life, like the present that you already have, and you aren't gonna want to live that or like live that freely.
Yeah.
There's also another point, if you're like thinking about this actually in like real life or stuff like that, in your conscience, well, basically like that. If you go into the future, you'll see that that's what's happened to you, and the choices you made before, even though you changed all of them, it's still gonna come to that point where you're at that level, that state.
I was gonna ask that, is it like a thing where you just see your future in general, or is it something that can be changed?
I have more questions about my question than like what is this scenario? Are you always seeing in 10 years in the future all the time? Is it always like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a mental exercise, you
I
know.
think the card should go to them. They did a good job with that. They did a really
They
good
did
job
that.
with
That was a really nice answer. Any chance to follow up on that? Okay, we're gonna give the game to Gianna and Eman, Team Chill Girls. I don't know, early. The first two could have gone over here, right? Piper was really on it. So was Ella.
Yeah. And
So-
Ella too.
Hey, in the end, this is just for fun. Somebody in the comments tell us that Team Tired over here actually won. We'll give some love to both teams. We do have to say goodbye. We got to get you back to class. Thanks to Ella, Piper, Gianna, and Eman for doing our debate this week. We're going to do some more. Hope everyone's okay out there. Happy holidays. Let's say bye. See ya.